All right, folks, I'm back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Now, yesterday I spent over an hour. I didn't intend to spend over an hour, but my intent yesterday with my interview with Josh McCall. Now, let me say this to you. The 9th District of Georgia is the second strongest Republican district, tied for second in the United States. Some question why even give this man the stage for over an hour. I had that question to me. Why even talk to this guy? Why spend the time? Why waste the time? Congressman Collins will get reelected, and why did you waste your time? I wanted to draw everything out I could possibly draw out. You watch the media out there, the deep state media, and you watch Fox, and you see these socialist candidates out there. And you see the Democrats out there. Okay? They are all that way. Every one of them. There's no difference. This guy that I had in here yesterday morning started out because I wanted to find out in the beginning what kind of Democrat he identified as. Okay? And he said an FDR Democrat. An FDR. More a 40s, 50s, 60s kind of Democrat. Okay? But before we were done yesterday, we extracted everything from him so that you can see he's a socialist Democrat. Now, he may be offended this morning because it seemed to be I offended him yesterday. But he started at the beginning of the conversation telling you out there that he identified as a 40s, 50s, 60s FDR Democrat. New Deal. But when we were done, he thoroughly, from impeachment to Medicare for all, to educate everybody at your expense, no matter what the list is, he let you know he is more a socialist than anything else. Now, that's just all there is to it. I wanted to bring it home to you. Because what you're going to say, and I have so many, I had people send me messages. Okay? Look, the guy over here, this is who you're going to send to Congress. Now, will he get elected in this district? No. But he is exactly the ones in the other district are duplicate. This guy's no different. This, what you saw yesterday on the show, is what will go to Congress. And that's their view. They're angry. They're mad. You can't talk to them. I had somebody say, how did you sit there? Hey, I sit there. I knew it wouldn't take take 2 minutes for him to be angry. I knew that he gets the Democrat talking points. He says he doesn't get them. I knew he got the Democrat talking points. I knew he was stuck on, where, let me tell you, the elevator stopped on Trump Tower for 20 minutes, and that was the whole MO. They don't research Peter Strzok. They don't research Lisa Page. They don't research Glenn Simpson. They don't research Steele, Christopher Steele. They don't research any of it because they don't care. Now, that being said, okay, this is what is going to Congress You see it right here in North Georgia in the 9th District. This is exactly who's going to Congress in the next, all over the United States. Won't be in the 9th District, but you've seen it live here. This is what's going to Congress. This is what they believe in, okay? Never answer how you pay for anything. Never. Okay, now, that being said, the reason I wanted to do that yesterday is for another list of reasons. Number one, the last time Congressman Collins ran for office, okay, he did not really have an opponent. He didn't have an opponent, okay? What did he win? 97 to 97 to 3 or 91 to 9, whatever. Did he win? I don't know. Did he win 92 to 8? Whatever. Now, I don't know what Congressman Doug Collins in the 9th District will win by. Some will get upset, so you just need to hold your being upset. I didn't create the climate we're in now. But Democrats are fired up. All right? And I wanted this guy to come in for a reason, so you could see what is going on all over this country and who is running everywhere. And this guy is exactly, his name's Josh McCall, but in Missouri or somewhere out in Illinois, in these tight districts where Republicans are just a razor hair away of winning, these are the kind of candidates they are running against. Impeach? Oh, absolutely. They want to impeach. You're going to spend the next 2 years if these candidates that I had in here yesterday get elected, you're going to spend the next 2 years of Donald Trump's administration with hearing after hearing after hearing, and they are going to rake your president over the coals like you would not believe. And they're not going to remove him from office, but they're going to impeach him. If the Democrats take the House back, they will impeach him. Okay? Now, let me lead it up to something. So, will Doug Collins win 70-30? Now, some got mad out there because I just gave this guy 30%. Will Doug Collins win 80-20? But let me tell you, the guy I had in here, he is actually going day in and day out and campaigning, and he actually has some people that are campaigning with him, and he actually has a little bit of support, a little bit. And if he can bring in the 9th District, you understand, Stacey Abrams, finally I'm getting around to that. Stacey Abrams will win that downtown Atlanta market. She will win the votes in the Columbus and the Macon and the Savannah. She'll win a lot of those votes in the inner city and surrounding the inner city. She'll win those votes. Nothing's going to take those votes away. Where Stacey Abrams needs to win, she'll get those votes, not win, get those votes. Where she needs the votes to win is in the 9th District. Well, we're in the 9th District. We're not going to give her any votes. Folks, if the guy over here can bring out 3,000 votes, the 9th District has 20 counties. If he can stir up 3,000 votes for him, they're all going to pull the trigger. Oh, that was a poor choice of words. I better pull back. Let's not say trigger. They're all going to push the button. I don't care. They're all going to push the button for Stacey Abrams. Period. I'm telling you now. You better pay attention to that guy that was here yesterday. And that better anger you, that better fire you up, and that better get Republicans to the polls. Don't look me in the eye, in the camera. Don't look back at me and tell me how much you support the President of the United States and not get fired up and find 3 friends and tell them, you know, hey, you got to go vote in November. Just telling you. I predicted last week, and the media is doing everything they can to make it come true. These are not coincidences. People, they're not. I told you it would take off last Tuesday, and it did. I told you it would be nonstop, and it is. And I told you it would be relentless and ugly, and you just can't. It's going to get worse. From the Hill, Trump slump, okay? This is at 6 a.m. this morning. Every day they're all working to push enthusiasm down. Suppress the vote, my God. I mean, all you ever hear, you want to close one polling precinct somewhere in Georgia and 3 black people vote there. Well, next thing you know, you got a march and they're down there saying, suppress the vote. The media is doing everything they can, the deep state media, to suppress the vote, discourage Republicans. There's no use. There's no reason to go vote. It's over already. Trump slump fuels fear, GOP fear. This is at 6 a.m. this morning from the Hill. And it doesn't matter which website you go to. It's worse if you go to CNN. It's worse if you go to MSNBC. But you can go to all of them. And there's something written that GOP is concerned. President Trump's approval rating has fallen in a series of recent polls, which we've talked about, fueling concerns among Republicans that an already dire, who said it was already dire? Whose words are those? That an already dire election season is turning worse at precisely the wrong time. Now, this goes on to go into a new CNN poll, found Trump's approval plummeted 6 points over the past month to just 36%, and more than half a dozen other nonpartisan surveys showed similar downhill path. Now, don't you think the downhill path that is showing up right now concerning the President of the United States is timed just perfectly for election? There are Republicans. This is really sad. I told you last week. Now, if we get public, if you and I are able to find out about this, I don't know. And even Friday, if you don't read it anywhere, I know I'm correct on this. I know I am correct, even if you don't get this on Friday from any publication. I said there would be at least 3 by this Friday, Republicans, that are pushing back on President Trump campaigning for them. This is what this is. All of this is worked up, built up to the point to try to get Republicans to distance themselves from the president, come out and do something as make a statement that walks the tightrope. I like President Trump, but there are times that President Trump says things that I wish he wouldn't, but I do like him. But there are times I wish he wouldn't tweet. There, right now, Republicans crafting that tightrope. I like him. Oh, now I got Trump supporters. I wish he wouldn't, hoping to get moderates. They're out there right now walking the tightrope, okay? Everything that's happening up to this point, Woodward's book, we'll get into that, is to create Republicans to say, don't come, please, Mr. President, don't come campaign with me. Because the media knows if the president comes and campaigns, he stirs up his base. And his base work. And his base will come vote. And his base is bigger than it was last time. Because you remember when you tried to get your neighbor to vote for Donald Trump and your neighbor would not vote for Donald Trump? Just something about Trump made your neighbor nervous. Now that same neighbor will go with you and vote. That's right. So they are in fear. The book's fear. That's what they're in fear of. I'm telling you now, that's their fear. Woodward's book, Fear, is only striking fear in the inner circle of the swamp, not out here where you and I live. And we'll get more into that, but I told you that by the end of the week, that will be it. The guy I had in here, you better pay attention. You better get fired up, because that will be what Congress looks like if you don't. I'm your host, BKP. I'm going to take a little break. We're going to come back and talk about the fear that Woodward has struck. And it's not in you and I. Take us a break, Josh.